Stranger danger. Stranger danger.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Maybe he just smelled bad. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
You're just bouncing all over the place today. The trick is you watch Love Actually and then you watch Die Hard as a sequel, so that way Alan Rickman can get punished for what he did to Emma Thompson.
Oh my goodness.
If you want to, go for it. I'm not doing it. They're not going to be able to smell you through the microphones.
And welcome to a merry episode of Northside Now. This is the podcast where we take you on a tour through all of the ministries and the latest happenings around Northside Church to keep you better connected with your church family. My name is Santa Claus. And with me are my co-hosts, the Holly Glenn Miller and the jolly Kevin Bryant.
Santa, it's so good to see you.
Now tell me, young boy, what do you want for Christmas?
You to quit smoking. Oh my goodness.
Lots of holiday cheer in the podcast room today.
Yes. And we're not talking about my outfit either.
Woo, but we should be.
Don't worry, guys. I just kicked that guy out of the room.
Thank goodness.
I think he was just some homeless imposter.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
'Tis the season to be jolly.
The staff was supposed to dress up today, and I have a funny feeling I'm the only one.
I wore my Christmas colors, but I didn't.
Yeah. I should have gone with your idea.
Well, next week is our ugly Christmas sweater day, so I was gonna break out my really cheap Santa outfit for that.
Ooh, there you
See,
go.
the thing is, I don't have one of those. I'd have to go out and buy an ugly Christmas sweater to have one.
Yeah, I
don't
have an
one.
ugly Christmas T-shirt. I don't have an ugly Christmas sweater
I have like
either.
a Star Wars one, but it's not really ugly. But it does have lights on it.
Yeah, there's some good ones out there, though. There really are some good ones.
There was some great costumes for the youth Christmas party the other week.
They did a great job.
I was very impressed.
They really did a great job.
Very impressed.
I need Mason's pink bunny outfit
Yes.
You
from
can
the
find
Christmas
it.
Story.
Yes.
It's nothing like being the pink nightmare.
Yeah.
Well, or being a disease.
Yeah.
That's what I get. Kevin,
Such a disease.
disease from Home Alone.
Yeah.
Maybe we should talk about movies this week. Well, before that, though, what's going on with you guys this week? Are you
just
gearing up for the
Gearing up for the
holidays?
yeah. I mean, it's everything now is kind of aimed. Kids are finishing school, and everything's aimed at getting to Christmas, right?
Right.
So
I'm just feeling so much older after my birthday last week.
Yeah, well, congratulations. You made it to the day after.
Everything's
the day after.
creaking and I'm an
we
old
warned
man
you
now.
about this.
Yes, we said it would come.
I didn't realize it happened overnight. It was literal.
Ibuprofen, Aleve,
Yeah.
Tylenol, and their generics are your friend.
So, have y'all received your Spotify year in review yet?
Well,
You
I
looked
don't
yours
think
up?
I was on Spotify enough. I started off the year with it, and then I honestly had a phone that could not handle all the space it needed. And so I offloaded it, and then I've gotten it back on. So I have not.
It's always
Got
cool
mine.
to see what you listen to the most.
Yeah, I'm an Apple Music guy, so
Yeah.
I don't know that I've really been on Spotify enough to because I had a Spotify for a few months, but I canceled it because I never listened to it.
Yeah.
Because I was always on Apple Music.
Well, I listened to a lot of good music, but my number one podcast was Northside Now.
Hey, that would be mine too.
I hope we're your number one podcast as well.
Yes.
Number one in my heart.
Vote for us.
That was good.
Vote for us.
It was cool to see.
Yeah.
Northside Now was, I think Patrick and I were looking at our podcast. We were like 4 people.
4 people listen to Northside Now more than any other podcast.
There we go. I must have been one of them.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been doing some work recently, the long hours, and so I've been listening to the Bible Project. Like,
Yeah, they're good.
full on repeat. They've got, I think I said a few weeks ago, 270 plus episodes, but really, really fascinating if you are interested by digging in deep, and especially in Hebrew, the meanings of words, and that's just. It's sort of unlocked a whole new, and I've been to Bible studies that have done the same thing, but unlock a whole new, like broaden my understanding of what the Bible is. We've talked about that. Kevin's talked about that. What the Bible is, what it how it came to be, why is it important, all those things. But there's so much meaning packed into it that you can spend a lifetime and really not fully grasp it, which is totally amazing.
Yeah.
It really is amazing.
It's fun to try to unpack some of that stuff and just learn about it as you go on, because as y'all probably already know, Patrick, since you've gotten older, you're already looking at scripture a little differently than you did last week
when you were in Covenant Kids.
When I was just a young kid last week.
But it's really a lifelong experience, and that's really cool.
It's an amazing miracle to me. I just I'm always surprised by something, and the wisdom of teachers that have that gift to be able to glean that and pull that out is just, I really, really appreciate it. And it is one of those things, and I've learned this more toward middle age than when I was younger, but the more you study it, the more you want to study it.
Yeah.
There really is that thirst for understanding and that grows in you the more you spend time learning about it. And that's kind of the goal for all of us, that we connect with it deeply enough that we still want to continue doing it. And that gives us not only knowledge, but wisdom, and can guide our daily lives too. So it's,
and to help pass it down to the next generations coming up behind us. And hopefully they develop that same thirst and hunger for learning and scripture and what it means for them to pass it down. That's how this has worked for all this time, you know?
Right.
So
very cool.
Well, you brought up the Spotify. What have you listened to more than anything?
Your music, not podcast, maybe, but.
Well, my music. Actually, Luke Combs made one of my top songs on there.
One of my kids' favorite artists.
And I've been listening to like some of these people because I've really gotten into songwriting.
Yeah.
I've always
You're writing songs?
No.
Oh.
No, he's written some good songs. There was one, what was it, Booger song?
Yeah, Love is a Booger.
Yeah. That was a good one.
Can we hear?
Your nose. No, well, I don't have all the band here with me. So.
Love is a Booger.
So love is a booger, and you better not pick it. It only grows when it's in your nose.
I love it.
So yeah,
Patrick, can that be our new theme song? We ought to record it.
We'll record it.
It is popular at junior high camps all across the world.
I will lend my background vocals to that if we want to actually produce a track.
Yeah,
and we can release it on Spotify and
there you go.
Yeah,
iTunes and everything else. And
it's up there. But really, listening to how some of the songs are written, and one of Luke Combs' song, there is a verse or a part of the lines where he says, your hand fits in mine like a needle in a groove. And it's kind of that Song of Solomon writing.
Yeah.
When you're talking about love and stuff. I don't know, it's just really good. Let's see who else made it on here. George Strait, Granger Smith, Jason Aldean.
I'm sensing a theme.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I was thinking.
To it. Ronnie Millsap. I listen to a lot of country. Let me see if something that's not country. Yeah, maybe not.
We have a long discussion on that about what's not country.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty much all country music looks like. So
like Dan and Shay, is that country?
No, there's no Dan and Shay in this.
It's pop music.
Yeah, there is a Florida Georgia Line song in here, so that's probably as pop as I go.
Rascal
There's only
Flatts.
one of those. I'm not a big Rascal Flatts guy. Love you, all of my Rascal Flatts friends.
Of course, yes.
But
speaking,
they're good. It's just not my go-to. So yeah, just a lot of new music throughout the year. But
Patrick, you don't have that in front of you, but
what's your top songs?
Well, I don't know
on Apple,
because Apple does it. Apple
don't
do a
why are you letting Spotify outdo you, Apple?
I know. Come on, Apple, give me like a year in review because I need to know.
I remember as a kid, that was my favorite thing in newspapers, was how they would review the year, sports and anything throughout the whole year. The newspaper always did, and that was always one of my favorite things to read in the newspaper.
Well, we're totally getting in that season, top 10 athletes of the year, top 10 news story. Time has done their 100 best photographs of the year, all of those things. And so
that's pretty neat.
It is the time to talk about what happened this year and what's going on next.
But it's also the time to talk about Jingle Jam coming up. And that's one of the reasons we were talking about music is Jingle Jam's coming up. So what is some of our favorite Christmas songs?
Christmas songs.
What are some of y'all's favorite Christmas songs?
I think probably, our family tradition, one of the ones that stands out the most in our family is, and I'm talking about myself and my brothers, not necessarily my kids, is traveling to Indiana. Now, the story is that I moved down to Tennessee when I was 2 months old with my parents, of course. I didn't take a Greyhound bus on my own, but Dad was transferred down, and so they had, and their family pretty much had been Indiana Hoosiers for a long time. Sort of transplants from the West Coast, but more recent history was in Indiana. And so when they moved down, they sort of moved from the rest of the family. And so we would go back up and visit for good chunks of time, like a couple weeks at a time in the summer and at the Christmas time. Yeah. And so we'd oftentimes leave and drive all night for the parents. That's a smart thing to let the kids sleep the whole time.
Yeah.
But we'd listen to Christmas music on the way on the car radio, and especially when it was dark and we were either sleeping or not quite sleeping, or on the way to sleeping, we'd watch Christmas lights as they went through. But usually what we heard played were these old songs. And so that, and I say by old, they're old for me, old for some people listening, but Andy Williams and Frank Sinatra and some of those classic, Perry Como, some of those classic Christmas songs. So those are the ones that I remember. Kind of, they definitely bring back a nostalgia. The Carpenters, that kind of stuff. So whenever I hear them, like, okay, I'm instantly in the Christmas mood. But I think White Christmas, Bing Crosby.
That's how I feel about Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You.
See... Yeah. Okay. I knew that would be your top song.
Yeah.
That's the number one Christmas song of all time.
Oh, according to whom?
It was on several
Spotify.
lists.
Oh, Spotify.
Yeah.
That's just the most played. I think that's how Spotify gets that one.
But it gets it. She even has a commercial or something now with it.
I believe.
Oh yeah, it's in every department store.
Yeah.
It's on high rotation, as they say.
Very much so.
The Christmas song, Nat King Cole.
Yeah.
I mean, even some like Santa Claus is coming to town.
Oh yeah.
Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah. I don't know. You got any Wham on there?
Last Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's one of my jams.
Wham.
Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, Brenda Lee. Yeah. So there's tons of them, right? And it's funny when I search for these things, because it is the season of reviewing the year, and you see these coming across your newsfeed all the time. It's not like the top 10 Christmas songs. It's more like the top 100, the top 60.
Yeah.
Are you a true artist if you have not put out a Christmas album at some point?
Ooh, now that's a good question.
I don't know. I feel like it's just kind of the thing to do. It's a quick cash grab for a lot of these people.
But don't you do it once you've kind of established a little bit, though?
It's once you've run out of other songs to record.
Yeah. I think
once you run out of original stuff, you do a live album, you do a Christmas album, you do a greatest hits album.
Filler until you write more songs.
But usually you do 2 or 3 album releases, and then you're supposed to do a Christmas song, a Christmas album. I think is kind of the
that's a formula.
I had heard at one point. Yeah,
it is a formula. That's why everybody does it.
But it means you have to stay around for a little bit, because sometimes albums run for a couple of years before.
That's true.
You get all the songs.
Well, now it's gone back to singles. So people are just releasing singles
because of the way music
is. The way music is now.
Let me ask a question. This is a nerdy music question. So, do they still list them or release them with B-sides?
I don't think so, but I don't know anybody doing the little.
Because some people are releasing on vinyl again.
Yeah. But
you know what I'm saying?
If you're trying to buy vinyl for someone you love for Christmas, you better get your bank account ready.
Yeah. Most people aren't pressing just singles to vinyl. Mm-hmm. They're releasing singles on like Spotify and Apple Music and stuff.
Right.
So and TikTok.
Yeah.
But I see that stuff listed on even music from like the 80s and 90s as having a B-side.
Yeah.
Well, that used to be the way it was, like Elvis, and back in those days they would release singles, and singles was the game, and they had the B-side, and that then albums grew in popularity, and now we're kind of like reverting back to singles.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I had as a kid several, they were my parents, but handed down single 45s.
Yeah.
And
But they all
so I
had
totally-
B-sides on them. So
Right. You have two sides on them. So I don't know. It was a random question. That popped
Did
in
you
my
ever
head.
lose your little spacer
All the time.
for the 45?
All the time. And
My
then you
goodness.
couldn't play it, or
I know.
actually you just played it and hoped it didn't wiggle.
Wiggle.
You know what that's about, Patrick?
Yeah, the little spider adapter. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It might be a little young for you.
Yeah.
But I mean, vinyl's making a pseudo comeback.
It is. They're
mean-
just so expensive. It is just blows my mind that people are paying that kind of money for records.
And I think
I pay that money for records.
I know, and it blows my mind.
I think
you
it's
know?
funny though that all the turntables are they're classified as hi-fi turntables. Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's still the needle. It's still a little thing in a groove. and
Yep.
I don't know.
For the
but
true audiophile, though. That's the
I
real
get it.
sound. There's no digital corruption in it.
I get it. I mean, there is something to that. I totally agree.
I did find, I don't know that it's accurate for me either, because Apple does what they call a replay.
Okay.
See?
And
Of
the
21?
difference is though, it's available all year and it's updated.
All the time.
All the time. So you
Is
can
that
kinda
like
go back
most
and see.
playeds that gets on that list?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Now I've realized that part of the problem is I have like 8,000 songs in my library.
Holy moly.
And a lot of them are ones that I own, and a lot of the music is stuff that's sort of like been grandfathered in from iTunes and stuff that I bought.
Yeah.
And so this replay list only has the stuff that I streamed off
Okay.
of, and so
Now
it-
you're purchased.
not any of my purchased stuff, because there's no Coheed and Cambria on this list, so I know it's wrong.
I tell you, the stuff that I stream is usually just jazz. It's like chill music that I'm doing while something else is going on, and usually it's while I'm doing computer work. Because when I'm out in the car, I'm using the radio. I know I'm one of the old fogies that doesn't have their Bluetooth connected to their car and playing their own playlist and all that, but.
Wait, what's a radio?
Yeah, I know. It's like a CD player. Those are obsolete now. Almost.
I use YouTube for a lot of my chill background music a lot.
Yeah,
for
see,
some
I don't.
reason.
I haven't gotten there.
There's
yet.
like those lo-fi hip hop mixes, where it's just,
Which I like
Yeah,
that too.
yeah.
chill beats to study to.
I like
No,
that.
usually it's like, we play a lot of you'll log up on the TV with the music in it. So we do that just for background noise in the house
Yeah.
too.
I play like sometimes it's more it's classified as new age, but it's either nature sounds or that kind of it's like the lo-fi concept where it's just sort of it's not droning, but it's just chill music. But I like jazz anyway, and so I listen to that. So Chris Botti, Pat Metheny Trio. I'm getting into the jazz, folks. Into the jazz, folks, for you guys out there. More Christmas music. Thurl Ravenscroft. Remember who that is?
What song?
You're a mean one.
Oh yeah,
Oh, there we go.
yeah.
So that brings up, talking about music and brings into the deal of the movies. So old
Yeah.
Grinch or new Grinch?
Old Grinch.
Old Grinch.
New Grinch is pretty cool.
New Grinch is pretty cool, and I'm a big Jim Carrey fan, but just something about that movie didn't really.
Are you
click.
saying live action or
No,
the
no, no,
new?
no.
Oh no! Oh,
Cartoon.
you mean the new animated?
the new
I thought you
animated.
meant the old cartoon.
No, no,
because that's
the old cartoon or the new
animated. Okay,
So
skipping the
old
Jim
animated.
Carrey.
Yeah, not
Okay.
the live action that doesn't count anywhere. So
Max.
I honestly haven't seen the new animated, so I can't really comment.
I've seen
pretty
parts of it, but
good.
that's
it's
I
pretty
haven't
good.
either.
It's really good. They did a good job of
Yeah.
staying fairly true to the old one, but with the new twists. But it's pretty good. Clay thinks it's the greatest thing on TV, so he
I don't
watches
know
it all
that the
time.
Grinch even fits into my top Christmas movies.
Wow.
I don't know. There's so many good Christmas
You
movies.
can
out there,
make it
too.
through all of Christmas without seeing the Grinch.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Sometimes that's probably true for me too. I mean, I think of it, but I don't always watch it. But before we move on, Clay's pictures with Santa are awesome.
Clay does not like Santa. We're hoping that
Stranger
gets better.
danger. Stranger
That's
danger.
exactly what I was thinking.
From
He
the
said.
moment he saw him until the moment we left or they left, that boy cried and screamed and kicked and hollered the entire time. So shout out to that Santa for being so nice.
Yeah,
because
well, it looked like he was really trying hard to get him
he
into
did
the
everything
fold,
he could do. But yeah, Clay is not a fan of the Santa.
I don't know what it is. Is it? I'm looking at Patrick here. Is it the beard? The beard's intimidating.
What's that supposed to mean?
I don't know. I mean,
I'm just kidding.
What's scary about Santa? I'm not sure what it is.
I don't know.
But I've seen that tons of times before with kids.
Is it maybe their first time with a beard like that?
I think so.
Or just a white. Is
That's
just
what I
a
wonder.
stark contrast, maybe?
I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I think for babies, if they grow up around people without beards and then they see somebody with a beard,
That could be a
'cause I've
thing.
actually heard that before.
Yeah.
But if their dad has a beard, then it's not as big of a shock. So
Maybe.
I don't know.
Well, being around all those military guys all the time, they're all clean shaven.
Nobody
and
has
stuff,
facial hair. So
That's right.
what is this woolly beast?
He's like, and why are you dropping me in his hands?
Yeah.
So he wasn't really scared of Santa. He was just scared of the beard.
Maybe he just smelled bad. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? But yeah, no, he was not happy.
Oh my
He
goodness.
was not happy.
Back to Christmas movies. though.
Which makes the entire holidays great for people like me.
Oh yeah.
I love it when things like that happen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you'll always remember that stuff.
Movies.
So what are y'all's top Christmas movies? What do y'all have to watch every year?
I have to watch White Christmas and Charlie Brown Christmas. I have to see those two. The Grinch is up there too.
Yeah.
I just felt, plus the Grinch, I mean, I remember, it used to come on TV, it'd be like 2 or 3 of them back to back because they're only 30 minutes long or so. And so boom, boom, boom. And you had to have that night of TV.
Yeah.
And still to this day, that was pretty big for me. Those 3 are the top 3 I have to see during the holidays. After that, I'm a little more,
Yeah.
Christmas Vacation is, gotta see it, but those 3 really make it.
I like White Christmas. We've already checked that one off the list for this year.
Yeah. See,
us too.
We usually turn that on when we put the Christmas tree up.
Us too.
So
That's a thing for us.
it's
too.
funny about White Christmas. I don't think I ever really saw it until I was in my late 30s. Believe it or not.
Huh.
The actual movie.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever really did. But I think the movies for me would be probably Charlie Brown.
Mm-hmm.
A Christmas Carol.
see, I'm all about Muppets Christmas Carol. That's the one I have to watch.
I like that one.
Michael Caine is
Michael
the best.
Caine.
Michael Caine is the best Scrooge that's ever been on screen.
But this is the Christmas Carol with George C. Scott. I think I
Yeah.
mentioned that last year, but our family likes that one. It's a Wonderful Life. I love to watch if I can get a hold of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. That's a good one. But there's so many other good ones.
I like the Santa Claus. That's a pretty staple one for
Yeah,
us.
1, 2, or 3.
Oh, the first one. Now, Elizabeth likes all of them, and it's a source of contention because I'm not a fan of 2 or 3. But the original Santa Claus with Tim Allen is gold.
That's good.
Also,
Elf.
got to watch Home Alone.
Home Alone and Elf.
Home Alone
jumped on there.
Elf is like the new holiday classic.
That's
you
true.
know?
But they play Elf year round almost.
Yeah. I got a little played out on that one.
Yeah.
Just because I've seen it so many times.
But have you tried spaghetti with maple syrup?
Yes.
There you go.
Then again, I have a really bad sweet tooth, and so anything with sugar, I'll at least try it.
You know what that reminds me of? Oh my goodness. My brain is full of just random thoughts.
You're
that
just
pop
bouncing
out.
all over the place today.
The first haunted house that I ever remember was one that I was in, and it was here at Northside Church.
Nice.
Oh, really?
The old fellowship, not the fellowship hall, the old education wing, which I think is now where the nursery is,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and those classrooms down the hallway there. I was, I have not thought about this in a long time, but I was on a table I was being operated on. And the thing that was, supposed to represent my guts was spaghetti with Caro syrup and red food coloring.
Oh my goodness.
So when you said spaghetti and syrup,
Yeah.
that's what flooded back. And it was very sticky. But it was a haunted house we had in the church. So it was quite fun. That was a youth event back then.
Things were different back in the day.
That's
I remember doing those things. Yeah.
Christmas things. You remember the Rankin and Bass series?
Yeah.
So Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Jack Frost, I think was in there.
I'm a big fan of Yukon Cornelius.
Yeah. He is a cool guy.
Frosty is another one of those.
Yeah, for sure.
Snowman.
All those stop motion.
Yeah. Those were great. Yeah. Oh, and then we got into the. There was a period of time where our kids watched this almost nonstop. The Snow Miser and Heat Miser. Again, stop motion stuff.
Speaking of stop motion, Nightmare Before Christmas. Christmas movie or Halloween movie?
Yeah, good question.
I think Christmas movie because it ends that way.
It's one of those that's like it could be a Halloween or a Christmas movie.
Which is funny. We were talking about before we went on the air that you said, Patrick, that Charles Dixon.
You know Charles Dixon?
He lives up toward Nashville. Charles Dixon. He wrote ghost stories.
Charles Dickens wrote ghost stories.
Yes. Yeah. Let's clarify it.
Yeah.
Charles Dickens wrote ghost stories at Christmas.
Yeah.
And that was kind of a thing back in that era.
And Christmas Carol is his like best example of that.
Yeah.
But apparently he's got like 6 or 7 ghost stories
Very
that happen
interesting.
at Christmas time. So I need to go look those up. I just found that out.
So Tim Burton is really a throwback
I guess, yeah.
to the 18 whatevers, right?
That and like Gremlins.
Yeah.
Gremlins is kind of on my list. It's sort of a Halloween or a
The
Christmas
gift
movie.
that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
Now we're going to come to, did we already discuss this? I can't remember. Die Hard.
Is
Christmas
it a
movie or not?
Is it a Christmas movie?
Everybody out there, we've had this debate going for
Forever.
maybe, pretty much forever since last year for sure. And I don't know, because Christmas is such a big, I mean, it's not necessarily central to the movie, but it's kind of the reason
It takes
they're
place
all gathered
at Christmas time.
right.
And it's a Christmas party. But Christmas has very little to do with the actual movie.
It's not like
I don't
they're
know,
hitting each other with
but it's
Christmas
that way with a
trees.
lot of other movies,
it's
too.
like that opens the door to a lot of other movies being Christmas movies.
Yeah. Well, like Batman Returns.
Yeah,
and
Batman Returns.
Lethal
is-
Weapon.
Yeah.
Lethal Weapon. Yeah.
Just any movie set at Christmas time. Does that automatically make it a Christmas movie?
So that brings it to are the Hallmark shows Christmas movies or are they just romances?
Oh, they're totally just romances.
Disguised as a
Disguised as a Christmas movie.
That was a Christmas movie.
Love Actually. Do you remember that one?
Oh yeah.
With
Now
Hugh
the trick is you watch Love Actually and then you watch Die Hard as like a sequel to Love Actually, so that way Alan Rickman can get punished for what he did to Emma Thompson. in the movie.
Goodness, that's funny.
I saw an advent calendar that was the Nakatomi Tower from Die Hard, and there was a little Hans Gruber.
Really?
And with each day, you pulled a little tab out to see the advent calendar, and he fell just a little further down the tower with each tab that you pulled out.
Goodness, how funny!
So as you got closer to Christmas, Hans Gruber fell closer to the ground.
Well, one thing is true. If anything can be related to Christmas, they're going to market it that way.
Oh, for sure.
But were getting Christmas pajamas a big thing for y'all when you were young?
No,
They weren't
think
either.
so.
But it's a
No.
big thing now.
we didn't wear any.
Well, maybe you should get some.
Now that well, if this
Only if I can get some like yours.
this
Glenn.
room is any
tell ya.
indication, I definitely need to invest.
These were my first Christmas pajamas last year.
Where did you get those?
My wife. I do not know.
I'll have to ask
Amazon, maybe.
Here's the thing. Everybody in our family, including Chief, had these Christmas pajamas.
You took a picture, didn't you?
We did.
I remember
it's on
this.
on our thing. So
Oh, yeah.
I don't think we're doing that this year, or at least I have not been informed if this is happening again this year. I but it's been a big thing for Barbie
Yeah.
to make sure that the girls always had Christmas pajamas every year. That was a thing.
My parents just wanted us clothed. That was the stipulation.
Yeah.
They didn't care what we were wearing as long as we were wearing something.
Well, historically, our house has been cold. Back in the day, it was because it was drafty, and we only had one. We had a wood stove, and so it was centrally located in the house. So the bedrooms were on the outside of the house, and it tended to get cold. So we just learned to, and this, a lot of people have this, but we just pile up with blankets and things.
Yeah.
And so if I wore long sleeves or long pants, I would get hot.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why we did have that, because I remember some pictures, but they weren't really Christmas focused as much. So we didn't really get into that tradition, but I like the idea. Oh. Maybe we should do that. We should have a podcast Christmas.
Ooh, a podcast. Maybe we should just
photo.
Get pajamas made with our faces all over them.
Ooh.
There we go.
And people could get those.
I want to wear the Patrick one.
Well, then I'll wear the Glenn, and Glenn can wear the Kevin.
That'd be really funny.
Let's see what else we got here.
Well, before we get off movies, I want to. There's a couple other honorable mentions on my list.
Bring it.
These are probably less popular overall, but they're some of my favorites.
Okay.
And it may be the time in which I grew up, but Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Do you remember that one?
Yeah, I do.
With Turbo Man.
Yeah. Who was the other?
Sinbad.
Yes,
That's right.
Yeah, good movie. Yeah.
Sinbad.
That's one of my favorites. I haven't watched it in a while. I need to watch it this year, see how it holds up.
That's good.
That one, and Jack Frost.
Yes.
Did you ever watch Jack Frost
Yeah.
with
yes.
Michael Keaton?
Oh.
Yeah, when he becomes the snowman.
I think so.
Oh, I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah. And Scrooged, probably.
Yeah.
With Bill Murray.
With Bill Murray.
Yeah,
yes,
those are good
indeed.
ones.
Yeah. Just a retelling of the Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
You guys mentioned The Christmas Story. We talked about The Pink Rabbit.
Yeah, that's sort of a classic.
Home Alone and
Elf.
Christmas Vacation. My mom loves that movie.
yeah, those are.
I couldn't even get the whole sentence out without laughing. My mom hates that movie with a fiery passion.
So we've watched that occasionally. The kids have been introduced to that one.
So maybe I need to take back the moose cups I got her for.
No, give them to her.
Here's one. I'm looking at a list. This is not my own original list. This is on Entertainment Weekly, but they have Trading Places in there. And if you don't remember that movie, this is one with Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy, and they trade places.
Yeah. I don't know that I've ever actually watched that movie.
I have seen it, but it's been a very long time ago. It's pretty funny.
It's Eddie Murphy he's kind of a down on his luck kind of guy, and Dan Aykroyd is like this really fancy trader.
Yeah, I was going to say Wall Street guy.
Wall Street guy.
Yeah.
And they literally trade
places.
lives. So it's basically extreme white collar to extreme blue collar.
Yep.
Gotcha. Interesting.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Good movie.
Nobody's mentioned this one. Black and white, classic characters, Santa, etc.
I said Miracle on 34th Street.
Oh, you did say that?
Yeah.
I missed it.
Is that the one you were talking about?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one.
That's a classic. We went to the Macy's on 34th Street when we
did
were in New York. Even when we were there in July, they had like a whole diorama set up on one of the floors of the Miracle on 34th Street.
Very cool.
Is The Preacher's Wife on there?
What?
No, not on my list.
My mom loves that one.
Now that had
Whitney Houston? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you don't have Medea's Christmas
And
on there.
Denzel Washington.
Medea's Christmas. There you go.
I have not seen that one.
Our grandma got run over by a reindeer, the animated version.
I
don't think I've seen that one either.
The guy who did that is a very interesting fella.
It follows the song. I like Prep and Landing. Have you seen Prep and
Yes.
Landing? That's a good
Yes. That's the Pixar. Was it on the DVD for Polar Express? No, that's not Pixar. Never mind.
Now,
What was it on? It was for some movie that was Christmas. Pixar, right?
Could have been. They're on Disney Plus now. So
Polar Express is not on my list.
Polar Express is something I would have listed. We've watched that
I like the
occasionally,
old
but-
Polex.
I don't mind the story. It's the visuals. The people creep me out in that. It's like right there in that uncanny valley that just Yeah, I don't know. It like triggers my fight or flight whenever I see these like abominations.
Is it just because you think there's too much Tom Hanks, or I mean, what is this?
Yes. No. I like Tom Hanks. It's just the animation's like not quite there.
Yeah, so it's realistic, but some of the, especially when the people, the
Wasn't
facial.
one of the first ones to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
in
and
that
I mean,
zone? So
I give it props for innovation, but
Right.
I don't want to watch it.
It's a sweet story.
It is. We
Yeah, I
actually
like the
went
story.
a couple of years ago. We went on the
the Smoky Mountain.
the Smoky Mountain
Oh, yeah.
train. They do a Polar Express every year, and we went on that a couple of years ago. It
I
was
want to
actually
do
really
that.
cool.
As Clay gets a little bit older, that's going to be on one of
We
my
got
to-do
cookies
lists.
and hot chocolate, and
Did
that kind of
the waiters dance around?
Yes.
And you had the spooky
See,
clowns in
that'd
the
be
middle of the train?
Didn't have the spooky clown.
Or the hobo on top?
We did have the hobo.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
did he come in?
He came in. So
Very nice.
and as you the like the
Did you
whole
get a bail?
the whole town gets into it, and they like decorate their houses. So as the train's
That's cool.
going, they're like, it's like you're going into the North Pole. And
That's awesome.
This is this house, and this is like
Oh, that's
workshop and whatever. But the whole like town's decorated their houses. So as the train goes by,
Did you get a bell?
Yeah, no
I did.
spoilers.
Oh,
but
I got a bell.
Did you hear it? You heard
I
heard it ring?
didn't. Not until the end. But then at the end, I heard it ring.
Oh,
so
wow.
Does it still ring?
I guess it's hanging on our Christmas tree. So
That's cool though. I like that.
That is. It's
Well, we've been talking about movies and music and all that. So can you divulge any of the songs that maybe y'all are doing with Jingle Jam tomorrow night?
there is a surprise.
I know about the surprise, but I want
Yes.
that surprise. Any good songs that we're
I think there's quite a few good songs.
like?
Any repeats from last year? There's some crowd
There's
pleasers
a
in it.
couple. There's a couple. The song that we ended with last year, we're gonna open with this year.
Ah.
So if you remember what song,
Do, 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 do.
Yep.
That one? Yeah.
if you remember what we ended with last year, that's what we're
That
gonna
was
open.
a hint. So everybody email us in with your guesses.
That's gonna be fun, and we got some cool games coming too. So
Yeah, I'm new
Good
to
music.
this.
Good
So
games.
you guys have done this before, right? The game Advent.
Well,
Not
not
here.
exactly. So
on Jingle Jam, no,
we normally do a family Advent night,
Okay.
which is
more of the game,
more games and sort of crafts, and it's a night for families to a lot of times they'll like make chrismons or
I got you.
whatever. But we weren't able to do that this year, so we've sort of combined it with Jingle Jam.
Okay.
And so Jingle Jam normally doesn't have any of the games involved. So it is typically, ugly Christmas sweaters, hot chocolate cookies, and songs, sing-alongs and
Nice.
stuff. So, but we've sort of combined the two this year. So we're going to have good songs, foods, ugly Christmas sweaters, and then we're also going to play some games.
some fun games.
This will be the first year that we've done it like this.
And
That sounds like fun.
and maybe I should dress like this to lead those games.
Yes, please.
I think I should do it.
Please
in my
do.
pajamas.
Yes.
We could set up a photo booth. Photos with Glenn.
Yeah, Yako's gonna make some. He's making like
Yes.
balloons,
Yeah.
and he's doing a whole big thing. So
And you don't have a beard, so you're
don't-
not scary.
I got a fake one you can wear.
Maybe I could just use your suit that you've got.
This is probably better. Actually, I'm thinking I might wear that suit, but it's one that I've. Okay,
Never mind. I know what I'm.
this is how good of quality that Santa suit is that I have. It's the whole thing. It's hat, beard, belt, boots, the whole thing, and I spent $10.99 on
Really?
this suit.
Did you find it on sale?
Party City?
I bought it at Walgreens for $10.99.
Holy moly.
Wow.
So
That's
it
a
is-
surprise.
It's super cheap, and I've had it for about 6 years. So
Wow.
normally I've got this like this dummy that I dress up in the Santa outfit every year, and like last year I just kind of like put him out on the front porch in the Santa outfit.
Nice.
And so it's looking a little worse for wear. You may not want to wear it.
I have speaking of Santas, I have two Santas in my yard. One is in a fishing boat,
Nice.
and another is on a tractor. So
Nice.
do y'all do a lot of decorating,
Oh, boy. Well,
outside decorating?
That's kind of a sore subject, honestly. So I did last year. Yeah, it was COVID, there was a lot going on. And so I did, and I've done it in years past, but with our new house, the peaks of the gables are a lot taller than other houses. And so I did have a ladder that got all the way up, but just barely. My extra height helped there. But guess when I took them down?
You haven't yet.
No, but that's a close guess.
Thanksgiving?
No, they came down, I think, in September.
Oh, okay.
Just in time for you to put them back up.
And my oldest son said, "Oh, can we do that again this year?" And I said, "If you want to, go for it. I'm not doing it. Bah humbug." But just because I was frustrated, in the spring, January or whatever, I had a plan to take it off, but I never got around to it.
Yeah.
But we do actually. I give Micah credit. He put up our part of the street's really dark. The street lights are very few and far in between. So it's dark for our particular house. And when people come over, just whatever, the sidewalk's super dark. See, it's hard to see where you're going. And he put up a string of Christmas lights on wooden stakes.
Oh, yeah.
All the way up the driveway and around to the front door. And so that, if anyone would come over, then we can have those on. So he did a really good job, and it makes it festive.
Yeah.
And so we have a little bit. We don't have a lot.
Nice. Unlike
we live in Wrights Mill. So those of you familiar with the area, you probably know the huge Christmas display in Wrights Mill. It's toward the Windy City side. It's like Christmas Vacation plus some is what it seems like.
Oh, wow.
You can see it from space.
It really is. Like, I wonder what the utility bill is for that. But they have walkways, and the whole house is covered, and they have a little like Santa booth, and it's apparently, we found out this year, we were told this before, but Halloween is like the thing in Wrights Mill. Like everybody
because of the
north of Jackson comes there.
Yeah.
This is like that.
the second thing.
It's the second thing. It's only one house, but still, it's very, very impressive. But we can't compete. We can't compete with that.
Does it have like synchronized to a radio
music?
station?
I don't know. I don't think it's like the stuff out at the ballpark.
There's one over here by the golf course that has
Really?
it's a house that's synchronized to music, and
Huh.
it has a little sign tells you where to tune to. It's pretty good. It's a nice house.
Yeah, they've done that for a few years.
I'll have to go
several
see
years
that
now.
one.
It
That'd be
really
cool.
is pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, we have not made it out to Shadrack's this year.
We haven't made it yet this year. We're going to make our annual pilgrimage here pretty soon.
Yeah, it's
We
a lot of fun.
We take the convertible and drop the top and ride around. That's a lot more fun
I
to do that way.
bet. I bet.
So
That's cool.
maybe I could make that a business. You can ride in our convertible around
There you go.
Shadrack's and take pictures.
There you go.
Very good.
They monetize everything.
Yeah.
One of the things I do like about some of the movies, and before we move on and talk about some of the other things we have coming up that are Christmas related, is like on the Peanuts Christmas, Charlie Brown Christmas, is, I think it was done in the 60s. I can't remember if it's early 60s or late 60s.
I've got it. I'll pull it up here.
But they were talking about how commercialized Christmas had become.
Yeah.
And how
They had no
aluminum
clue.
trees, and they're almost raging on it a little bit, and there's no compared to what it was then
They have
versus
no
now
clue what it's going to turn into.
is really, really interesting. And so I just kind of watch that and giggle, because everybody talks, holiday trees and all the different stuff, and it's just really interesting to me if Charles Schultz would have only been able to see. But that's what's made that stand the test of time, I think, in a lot of ways.
65.
65, so right in the middle. Isn't that interesting, though?
It's interesting how commercialized not only Christmas has become, but we were talking about Christmas songs. Why are there only songs about Christmas? Where are my Halloween songs, or my Thanksgiving songs, or my Easter songs, or St. Patrick's Day? Why do no other holidays really have the songs like Christmas does?
This is a question that I actually pondered this week. So I'm glad you brought this up, because, and I didn't do a lot of searching for commentary on it, but I was thinking, okay, so we have commercial holidays, right? I mean, Easter has become this huge, not only clothing, but merchandise and all that stuff. Halloween, of course, is monstrous. And we do everything. It's not Texas, but we do everything big in the U.S. It's interesting how Christmas is this interesting blend between commercial and spiritual, and it does really touch a lot of different parts of our life in different ways than other stuff does.
I mean, I guess with Halloween, we do have It's a Monster Mash.
Yeah.
You do, but you don't have a whole lot of songs other times of the holidays and years. Some are traditional and stuff like that, or maybe they use from, like,
I know.
St. Patrick's Day, they'll use a lot of Irish type songs and stuff, but they're not specifically
Specific St.
driven
Patrick's Day, yeah.
towards Christmas or towards their particular holiday like Christmas is.
I just thought it was kind of interesting.
And it's interesting too that you can have a secular artist that you would never think would do a religious song.
Yeah.
Singing
holiday.
singing a hymn.
Well, I was going to say, is it because Christmas is more of a religious thing in our culture, is like, or at least more where it started in our culture. But Easter, I mean, it's the same kind of concept, but we don't have a whole lot of like Easter songs, and artists aren't releasing Easter albums and things like that, so
It is interesting.
just something to ponder.
It is.
Mental food.
Yeah.
Well, there is all this is fun and great to talk about, but the real reason for Christmas is the birth of Jesus. And
Yes, sir.
we have a lot of things that are coming up here at the church that will help us stay focused on that. So,
Yeah.
Patrick, what are those things that we have coming soon?
Well, we mentioned Jingle Jam.
Yep.
That's tomorrow, Wednesday the 15th at 6:00. So make sure you grab your ugly Christmas sweater or just something festive to wear and come get some hot chocolate and cookies and get ready to play some games and sing some songs.
Awesome.
And then this Sunday, well, I guess technically Saturday first on the 18th is the Christmas Cantata at 7:00. And then Sunday morning, the 19th, at both the 8:00 and the 11:00 services is the Christmas Cantata. So don't miss that.
Yeah,
we talked a lot about that on the last episode.
Yeah.
So
Cantata.
and then we'll have our Christmas Eve services on the 24th, 5:00 and 7:00 in the sanctuary. Both of those will be live streamed. So if you're traveling or spending some time with families, make sure you tune in on the app or the website. And then Sunday morning, the 26th, there will only be one service that Sunday morning. Well, the 26th and January 2nd, both of those Sundays will only be one service at 10:00 in Hope Hall. So
No Sunday schools.
no Sunday schools those weeks. Yeah.
Do we have any information on like office hours or things? I know we've talked about that a little bit before. It may still be finalized.
Yeah. So the week between Christmas and New Year's, that week between the 26th and the 2nd, the office will be open 8 to 12 Monday through Thursday. So people can still bring in their year-end giving.
Okay.
So it's a little bit shortened office hours, but we'll be open 8 to 12 Monday through Thursday. Yeah, that's all I got on my list.
Well, lots of great opportunities coming. And so while almost everything is going to be live streamed, right? So either on the app, the website, Facebook or something like that.
Those are the two best places, the website and the app, to check it out. We're also still streaming to Facebook and we're streaming to YouTube as well.
Yeah.
But the app or our website, northsidejackson.com, those are the best places to watch.
Now we talked about a special thing coming up for this podcast.
Ah, yeah.
A live
true. Yeah.
Show.
Finally.
And we're still putting the finishing touches on that. But I would encourage people listening to this to put a mark on their calendar so that they can interact with us. You guys want to say anything more about that?
Yeah. So it'd be the 16th. We are going to record live our 52nd 1-year anniversary podcast of Northside Now. So we'll probably do that on Facebook and probably on our Instagram page.
Yeah.
Because we can do both at the same time. So we will do that and encourage you to log on with us or to definitely see it so you can kind of see everything happen as it's happening and celebrate with us doing 1 year of Northside Now. And so that's going to be fun. Just something different to celebrate and we will do a little review and just a little maybe sharing of where we're going next and all the man, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
And if you ever wonder about, what this looks like when we actually do it, and you're curious, well, just tune in and participate. I think it's going to be a fun thing. Do something
you will
different.
Be shocked at all of the
how good we look.
Yeah.
You mean I'm actually gonna have to take a shower that day and look presentable? I guess
they're not going to be able to smell you through the microphone. So
I'll look presentable. Don't worry.
Put extra beard oil on.
There we
day,
go.
and you'll be good.
We'll make sure Clay's not watching so he doesn't get scared. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun time, and
we'll see how that goes. That might be something we do more of in the new year. We are we're excited about what we've done this year, but we think it's a ministry we want to continue, and so talking about plans for next year and doing some new things and trying some new things and continuing to have Kevin be a part of it. He's a little under the weather today as we record this, but I want to have him as a part of it as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's exciting.
Yeah.
Looking ahead to the new year as we think about the one that's coming to a close.
Yeah. So 2022 is going to be here before you know it. So let's all get ready for a new fun year. Hopefully nothing is going to come riding into town to mess it up like it has the last couple of years. But we're anticipating with hope a new adventure.
Well, guys, thanks for podcasting with me. And thanks to all of you out there in the world for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or leave a rating and review. To catch all the latest from us, you can follow us on Instagram at Northside Now Podcast. Go to our website, northsidejackson.com, or email us at podcast@northsidejackson.com. We hope to hear from you soon. Once again, this is Patrick.
This is Glenn.
And I'm Kevin.
And that's what's happening at Northside Now.